How's it going, everyone? I hope you all had a good Halloween. Mine was spent playing Swordmaster Story and watching anime with my girlfriend. Anyways, for today's video, I want to show you guys a few things you may not have known about Swordmaster Story that I've recently discovered and thought was useful to share with everyone. I'll start off with a few things that you may already know, and end with things that you may not have known. Also, there are a few new coupon codes you can use to get some rubies. I've listed them in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please support me by giving the video a like and subscribe if you would like to see more content like this in the future. Let's get on with the show. Starting off with number 1, 31% crit resist is essential. Many of you may already know this, but for those of you who don't, it is essential to aim for a 31% crit resist on all your characters. This tip really helped me when I first started. When I was a new player, my team would get annihilated by some bosses in adventure mode. It didn't take me long to figure out how much more damage the bosses did from critical hits over regular hits. It wasn't until online I saw some online forums people recommending to aim for 31% crit resist on your equipment, as this was the number in which they stopped observing any critical hits from monsters and bosses in adventure mode. After getting 31 crit resist, my team was able to survive boss fights way longer than previously, since this puts less stress on your healers. This is not the case for PvP and some bosses outside adventure mode, however, since they may have higher crit rates than bosses in your regular adventure mode. As for what items you should try to have crit resist on, I would focus on getting at least 2 to 3 lines of crit resist from your shoes. The other options would be from your helmet or armor, but those are better suited for defense and HP options. Moving on to number 2, passive abilities when not organized in party. So there are 3 characters that I know of that have a passive ability that benefits you even if they're not currently in your party. They are Chloe, Merlin, and Hera. Chloe and Hera both have the ability Millionaire, which increases the amount of gold you obtain from clearing stages. Merlin is the odd one out. In contrast, her ability grants an increase in experience, though I'm not entirely sure whether this is experience for monsters or experience for your rank. I see many people saying this is an experience for your rank. If you guys happen to know the answer, please let me know in the comments. Moving on to number 3, buying green scrolls with rare souls as opposed to buying with real money. This is a good money saving tip for those who plan on spending some real money for the game. We all know that you can buy 12 green scrolls in the store for $8.99 USD. That translates to roughly 1.33 scrolls per dollar. If you're gonna spend money anyways, this is how I would spend it. Instead of buying green scrolls like that, you can purchase one of the costume packs for $30.99, which includes 25 rare souls. Assuming you don't care about costumes, then you can exchange these souls for green scrolls too. You can exchange 2 rare souls for 10 green scrolls. The most you could exchange with given the 25 souls from the costume package would be 12 times, because 12 times 2 equals 24. You would be left with 1 leftover soul. Exchanging these 24 souls would yield you 120 green scrolls, which translates to roughly 3.87 green scrolls per dollar, which is a much better ratio than the 1.33 from straight up buying them from the store. Again, this is only useful if you're going to spend money on the game anyways and don't care for costumes. Next up, number 4, Transcending unused weapons gives you a passive combat power boost. I thought this was pretty cool. I found out that when you transcend weapons that you aren't using, that this still increases your total combat power slightly. I know it may be expensive and it may not be a whole lot of an increase, but every little bit helps, especially when you start to get stuck on adventure mode. You'll need every bit of power increase that you can afford. And lastly, number 5, max CDR or cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction refers to the reduction of a skill's cooldown. The more a cooldown is reduced, the more frequently your character can use their skill. This is especially useful for any character whose skill has a long cooldown. From what I could gather from forums online, the best options to have on your ring besides additional damage to bosses or percent attack would be cooldown reduction. The max cooldown reduction that would work according to a game master was 60% for all characters besides Cain, whose max cooldown reduction was 30%. I don't have CDR on my rings right now, but once I've collected enough rare refining scrolls, then I'll try to obtain more CDR as it is extremely useful for late game. That wraps up some of the recent things I've discovered and thought would be useful information to share with you all. If you found the coupon codes or the tips useful, I'd encourage you to smash that like button and subscribe for more Sword Master Story content in the future. If you have any further questions about anything at all, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, everyone. My name is Martin, and as always, have a nice day.